Hi guys! Today, I'm going to recap a 2017 Korean crime thriller movie called VIP. A handsome psychopath is suspected of committing serial murders and rapes around the world, and is chased by South Korea, North Korea, and the CIA. Can they bring justice to him? Let's find out together. During her independent travels throughout North Korea, a young woman in her teens can be seen ambling down the side of the road. The road is completely devoid of traffic. Suddenly, 3 other students driving a car pull up alongside her and capture her. As she comes to in a strange room, she discovers that she is not only naked but also surrounded by guys who are physically abusing and torturing her. It has come to light that they are a bunch of psychopaths who are also responsible for the murders of her entire family. They are also accountable for the crimes that they have committed. The boss of the group, Kim Gwang-il, is the one who searches for her with the intention of killing her. He used a piece of wire to suffocate her to death before leaving her body. A North Korean officer by the name of Lee Dae-bum is in charge of conducting the investigation into this heinous murder. He and his colleagues come to the horrifying revelation that the psychopaths have performed heinous things against the girl's family, while they collect evidence at the location of the crime. He goes and tells his boss about it, and his boss advises him to abandon the investigation, despite the fact that he already has a suspect in mind for it. It would appear that his supervisor is concealing information from him in some way. The situation gets even worse when he is demoted and transferred to a new place. A girl's body was found by officials in South Korea after it had been missing for 3 years. The girl's body bore signs of having been raped and tortured at some point in her life. In recent years, South Korea has been the location of several murders that followed remarkably similar patterns. Nevertheless, the authorities have been unable to determine whether or not these homicides were committed by a serial killer. Because of this, the people who live in the neighborhood become terrified, which places more pressure on the police to discover who is responsible for the crime. Choi Yi-doo, a well-known investigator, gives his team the mission of attempting to match the DNA taken from an eggplant that was discovered within the corpse of the victim with the DNA of someone he had already suspected. The eggplant was located inside the body of the victim. On the other hand, conversations about the matter are taking place within the National Intelligence Service, which is also referred to as NIS for short. They are the ones who brought the murderer to this country from North Korea to South Korea and then to this country 2 years ago, hence, they are already familiar with the name of the person who committed the murder. They refer to him as the VIP in their conversations. The findings of the DNA analysis indicate that there is a possible match. A search operation on Kim's hiding spot is carried out by Chai and his team. However, when they come, there are also other NIS agents who want to take him, which means that they are competing with one another to take him. The NIS is powerless to continue their pursuit of Chai and his group after they were successful in obtaining a warrant for Chai's arrest. When one of the NIS superior agents sees this, they immediately fall into a panic and offer to furnish Kim Gwang-il with legal representation. During the time that he is being questioned in the interrogation room, his attorney gives him a number of different alibi explanations to choose from. Kim's reaction to the query about the DNA finding is that he and the victim have the same hobby, which is working on farms together. This was in response to the question about the DNA finding. On the farm, there are some cucumbers and eggplants that have started to grow. At that very moment, Chai is very certain that he is the person who committed the murder. Mainly due to the fact that he has not yet offered any opinion concerning the eggplant. After that, members of his team search the city for videos recorded by surveillance cameras and dashboard cameras so that they can be used as evidence to refute Kim's alibi. Before they were successful in finding the evidence that invalidated his alibi, they laboriously spent a number of hours carefully poring over the tape. On the other hand, members of Kim's organization are being harassed by a third party whose identity is unknown. He ends the life of one of them, and then he tosses the other one out into the middle of the street. When the NIS finally finds him, they don't waste any time throwing him in jail, they do it right away. They come to an agreement with the chief of police, according to which they will hold that individual responsible for all of the murders, but in exchange, they will release Kim to them. This agreement stipulates that they will hold that individual liable for all of the murders. In light of the fact that he views this scenario as one in which all parties concerned have a chance to emerge victorious, he has decided to accept the offer. Chai is oblivious to the fact that a member of Kim's gang has been delivered to him by the NIS due to his inability to accept the information. He engages in discussion with the chief of the police department and successfully persuades him to release Kim from custody. The news will come as a relief to NIS, and they will be able to bring an end to their investigation into the murders now that they have located that same man's DNA inside both of the victims. Just before Chai delivers Kim up to the NIS, he provokes Chai's anger, which in turn forces Chai to strike Kim. As a consequence of this, he will no longer participate in the task force in any capacity. After he had been defeated, he returned back to his residence and found a strange man there. He had not seen this person before. The officer from North Korea named Lee was identified as the person responsible for the crime. He reveals his identity to him and goes into detail about the horror that he and his men went through at the hands of Kim. He is the only one who survives, and after some time he comes back to exact his revenge on Kim. Kim is the son of a high-ranking official in North Korea. Kim is a member of the Kim family. At the moment, Kim is in charge of running North Korea. He was unable to touch him as a direct result of this circumstance. However, considering that his father was just arrested, the authorities in North Korea are likely to arrest Kim as well if his father brings him back into the country. This is due to the fact that his father was just recently arrested. They have reached a decision to cooperate with one another as a group. During the time that Kim is in the custody of the NIS, she commits a violent act on one of the female agents. Park makes strategic use of this information to his advantage and ultimately brings Kim to his knees. Kim doesn't show any sign of being sorry for her actions, but she still manages to keep a smile on her face. The NIS and the CIA have come to an agreement that will see Kim being handed over to the CIA. This will free the NIS from the obligation to continue communicating with Kim. When the CIA finally shows there, they let them know that it was always a part of their big plan to move Kim from North Korea to South Korea, and that this was always their aim. They are searching China for banking information belonging to Kim's father, which Kim is aware is located in that country. On the other side, Lee divulges to Chio the information that Kim is to blame for the passing of another individual in Hong Kong. They record the video while they are torturing and raping the victim, and thereafter, they sell the film in order to create cash for their operation. They record the video while they are torturing and raping the victim. On the video in question, Kim's face can be seen extremely plainly from multiple angles. When Kim loses her cool, Chai is relieved because it provides him the opportunity to permanently erase the smirk from Kim's face, and he seizes this moment with both hands. Unpredictably, the chief of the police department placed Chai's entire task team under suspension, which barred them from accessing their place of employment. Chai's team was unable to report to work as a result. Even though Chai and Kim are sitting in the car together with no one else around, he was unable to figure out what the issue was. After he locates him, Park makes an attempt to convince him to drop the matter and go on. He agrees with the plan and gives the CIA permission to abduct Kim. But just as they are about to depart, Kim is able to seize a gun from one of the CIA operatives, and before they can escape, Kim shoots Kim with the gun. The CIA was in a state of panic, and agents moved as rapidly as they could to remove Kim from the area. Park gives chase to them after noticing what is happening. Lee suddenly materializes and is involved in a collision with the CIA. After that, he puts Kim in his car and leaves without her, leaving her behind. Kim is taken back to North Korea by Lee in the boat that they had shared together. But as luck would have it, it turned out that Kim's subordinates made up the entirety of the crew aboard the boat. It has not yet been brought to Lee's attention that Kim's father has recently reclaimed his former position of authority. They put an end to Lee's life and then throw his body into a body of water as a means of disposal. After that, Park learns about it from his superior, but he is powerless to alter the situation in any way. While Chai lies in a hospital bed completely helpless, he has no option but to continue to cling to the belief that a better opportunity would present itself in the future. After a period of 5 years has passed, the CIA commissions Park to abduct Kim and deliver her into their custody in Hong Kong. Park is given the mission by the CIA. As a direct result of the recent execution that was carried out on Kim's father, he is no longer in a position of authority. They tell him where Kim is hiding and provide him a weapon to use against his goons. They also give him the location of Kim. He then travels to the location and, one by one, wipes out all of Kim's security personnel that are present there. When he finds Kim, instead of handing him over to the CIA, he subjects him to extreme pain and suffering by repeatedly shooting him in the head before finally taking his own life. Following that, he begins dismembering his body and placing the pieces into a bag. Following his exit from the building, he locates the CIA officers waiting outside and passes the bag over to them. In the final moments before he leaves, he relays the message to the CIA that from this point forward, they are the ones who are responsible for resolving their own situation. What do you think of this movie? Write your comments below. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.